Hello friends! Today we're back on our channel with a new video in which we'll show the performance of the ASIC Whatsminer M60 running on our custom firmware and with an additional power supply. In other words, we're going to push this device to its maximum. Of course, we'll be doing this in immersion cooling liquid and see the results we get. We'll compare them with the previous parameters from when it was running on the factory firmware, and of course we'll calculate how the profitability has changed for this device at the current point in time. We'll be connecting and overclocking our device using an additional power supply, which is synchronized with the main one. You can see connect an additional power supply in our previous videos, as you may recall, or in the instructions on our website. Links will be in the description below the video. Now, we're connecting the additional power supply, immersing the ASIC and starting it up in the process. In our previous video, we already tested the actual parameters of ASIC in all operating modes using the factory firmware. The link to the video will be in the description. Now let's move directly to the device. Our custom firmware version is already installed here. You can download it from our website BiXBiT.io. Simply go to the firmware tab and select the appropriate version for your device. Here on the page, you'll find a brief overview of the firmware itself, a video demonstrating how it works, as well as a link to the documentation section where instructions provided for all the necessary steps related to working with Whatsminer devices. There is also a guide on how to connect an additional power supply, what to do, and how to work with it. Also on the page there is a fairly detailed guide on how to install the firmware. And just below there's also a video where you can see how to install everything. If you follow the instructions, there won't be any issues at all. But if you do happen to have any questions, you can contact our technical support service, which operates 24/7. The link will be available on the website. Go to Telegram, start the bot and ask any questions you're interested in. In this case, the bot is just a link between the technical support operator, our specialist and user. In other words, you'll be communicating with a real person. Now let's move on to our ASIC. It has already started operating and the auto-tuning process is underway. We go to the minor configuration tab, then overclock. Here we can see that immersion mode is enabled along with an additional power supply unit. Also a reminder, to operate the ASIC in immersion mode, you simply need to disable the power supply fan check. As for the profiles, we have only 3 factory profiles are available now. These are low, normal and high. Of course, this doesn't suit us because we are working with overclocking and an additional power supply. That's why we'll use one of the features in our firmware. It's the automatic profile generation. When this function is enabled, the device starts up and begins automatically selecting all possible profiles for operation under the current conditions. This is the simplest method, very convenient and easy to understand for the user. Of course, we will also use it now. We press the button confirm and wait for the device to start up and completes the profile generation. Well, the ASIC has finished the profile generation process. It took us about 40 minutes, and now we have a list of ready-to-use profiles for operation. Let me remind you that a value marked as predicted means the profile was obtained through a calculated method and may not be entirely accurate after the auto-tune process. That means the performance may fluctuate up or downwards. For overclocking, we, of course, choose the highest possible profile, save it, and wait for the configuration to complete. Our ASIC has entered operational mode, and its current parameters show approximately 249.8 terahash, which is almost 250, with a power consumption of 3864 watts from the main power supply and 2172 watts from the additional one. So the total power consumption from both power supplies is about 6 kilowatts. We add these values together because in this case the ASIC can receive data and control only from the main power supply. According to the profile, we had 251 terahash at the power consumption of 39113 watts. From the parameters, we can see that the firmware performed well, reaching the desired set values. The hash rate is slightly lower, but the power consumption is also a bit lower as well. Now, we will enter these results into a detailed table and compare them with previous standard operating modes to check the profitability of this ASIC at the current moment. To determine profitability, as always, we'll use the calculator on our website, BiXBiT.io. Go to the Calculator tab. And here we need to enter the previously obtained data. Now we enter all the current operating parameters of the ASIC while overclocked. Similarly, we will also update all the standard operating modes of this device, which we obtained in our previous video. For the hash rate, we are using 250 terahash with a total power consumption of 6036 watts. The electricity cost, as usual, is set at 4 cents per kilowatt hour. If, again, your electricity cost is different, you can use our calculator to recalculate this data according to your operating conditions. We are, of course, looking at the profitability based on the Bitcoin. At the moment, that's approximately $6.27 per day. Of course, there are coins that currently offer higher profitability at the moment, but we are, of course, focusing on Bitcoin. All the obtained data is updated in the table, which you can see on your screen. Of course, let's not forget about such an important and convenient tool that comes with using our firmware. It's the AMS Remote Management and Monitoring System. With its help, you can efficiently manage your devices from anywhere in the world, monitor statistics, receive notifications, and much more. All you need to do is register, go to your personal account, add your device by obtaining and copying the API key, then go to the AMS tab on the device, install it on the ASIC, and after a short while, your device will be added to your user account and will be available for management and monitoring. Friends, that's all for now. Give us a like, subscribe to our channel, leave your comments. See you all next time.